Welcome to another week of the weekly feedback. I'm your host, Caveman PRDR. Today, we are going to be at week 7 of the weekly feedback. The most previous TWAB, the January 19th TWAB, is upon us. Hot fix 6.3.0.4 is available. I've got a little bit of trackings on Twitter as well regarding the character bug deletion, so I want to go over some of those things. I guess first we'll go over that because that was a major topic for last week. So Bungie Help actually tweeted out saying that maintaining your characters in progress is our top priority after kicking off a deep dive investigation of a very low number of reports of missing characters out of an abundance of caution. We are confident that no characters or progress were incorrectly lost by our systems. So it's kind of weird that they kind of came out and said it in this manner, in a they kind of just defended themselves manner, which is fine for them to do. I guess it's just kind of weird how it kind of came across this way. So basically, they're just saying that the characters show up on their end. So for some reason, I guess the handfuls of people that were having problems saying that the character wasn't there, Bungie's just like, no, it's there. You probably just need to restart your game. So, from what I've learned and seen about from over the week, if you load up Destiny and your character's not there, don't panic and make a new one. Literally just restart your game. If you're on PC, maybe close the client and restart Steam. That's going to be really all I would have as far as suggestions go. Maybe the client's not connecting to their servers and it's not recognizing your character. I couldn't really tell you. It's kind of odd how it would only be one character that's not recognized. But anyway, that's really all I have to say about that banner. It'd be interesting to see if Bungie has any more problems with this, or if anybody reports any more problems with this going forward. So we're going to go with some more tweet watching for Bungie Help. Investigating an issue where an objective in today's new mission, Operation Sancus, isn't updating for players. To circumvent these issues, players will have to restart the mission, move slower, and wait for Rasputin to finish speaking before moving to the next area. I don't know if this has been resolved yet. This was tweeted as of the 17th, so that would have been Tuesday after the weekly reset. So, yeah, I don't think I personally encountered this bug myself, but this is a known issue tweeted from Bungie Help. Now on to some more important things, some Bungie released news, and I'm gonna see if I can make this kind of quick. First, we'll go over one of three things. Two of them are going to be fairly long. One of them is first thing, hotfix 6.3.0.4, which came out Tuesday. Some notes saying, basically confirming some stuff from previous week's TWAB. Grandmaster Nightfall's player level requirement down to 25 from 15 for the power cap. Dungeons fixed an issue where the final encounter would not drop rewards repeatedly while it's the featured dungeon. That was for duality. There was an issue with duality regarding that. And let's see, what about this? Vendor focusing. So this was a little bit of the focusing that they talked about. Reducing Legendary Shard and Glimmer usage in Trials, Iron Banner, Crucible, and Gambit. As well as the Adept weapon focusing. Fixed an issue where players were unable to reset the artifact where they had no artifact points available. One very important thing, increasing deep sight weapon drop rates for all raids and in the duality dungeon. I thought this was an excellent change. there's another important thing down here. Fixed an issue where volatile detonations triggered at a higher than expected cadence. So anything that you were using for a build for volatile rounds, the most common thing I was seeing was Retrofit Escapade. That is no longer doing the more than expected explosions, basically. So slightly less big boom. Any other notable things here that I'd immediately cared about? Not exactly. Okay, so that's going to be it for 6.3.0.4. Now we're going to go on to the Buildcrafting Evolved blog. I'm just going to quickly highlight over some of the things, but there's a lot in here that is important and needs to be, probably needs to be known before the new season for Lightfall comes around. Very important stuff for Lightfall. This is very important stuff. So, they talk about a little bit and show some pictures of how the in-game loadouts are going to work. There will be up to 10 loadouts. If you're familiar with how Destiny Item Manager works, I imagine it's going to be similar to that. I'm not going to cover a whole lot into detail. Mod and mod customization. Cut down on time managing mods, removing limitations that created experiences, giving more understandable ways to earn mods, remove the need for 801. So basically all mods are going to be available for any Guardian that's in the in-game Guardian rank 6, I believe. Anybody that gets the rank 6 in the upcoming Guardian ranks in the future will be able to have any mod. There will be one very important note here. Mod energy types are being removed. So it's going to make build crafting a lot easier, and there's going to be a lot of these mods that are changing. The actual entire suite of the Warmind Cell mods are being removed, so rest in peace Warmind Cell builds. And I had an iClose SMG I love doing this with. It was one of my go-tos. It probably has my second most PvE enemies killed of all time. I loved using it, and now no more Warmind Cells, but that's okay. Game, set, match. To reach the goal, match game is being removed from high difficulty activities, and they're trying to adjust the enemy shields where they're going to be a little bit harder to play against in the higher end PvE. So match game being removed. We are champions, so in addition to having a counterplay against champions in the seasonal artifact, they're going to build it into our subclasses. So there will be anti-barrier viability for Solar, Void, and Strands within the subclass in the upcoming future. I'm not going to go straight into detail through all of these. I may do a TWAB video, but we're just going to go quick and shoot through these. Overload champions, there will be ways to counter it through Arc, Stasis, and Void. Unstoppable, there will be a way to counter it through Arc, Solar, Stasis, and Strand. Armor changing mods, socketing armor charge system gives you access to the new system. Functionalities of taking charge are now granted to you whenever you have any armor charge mod. You can hold between 0 to 3 stacks of armor charge. A lot of this just... I think they're changing the way the charge with light works, and they're changing it from charge with light to armor charge. I'm assuming this is going to have an impact on how explosive light works. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but there are going to be basically new suite of mods. You can arguably say this is Armor 3.0, but yeah. Elemental Wells evolved, so Elemental Wells are basically being changed to separate entities or adopting entities that were already existing within the subclasses. So Ionic Traces for Arc example. Elemental Wells are basically just going to be That system's going to be reworked to ionic traces for arc. They're going to be making this new thing called fire sprites for solar, which is basically the old fire elemental wells. Void breaches for void. Stasis shards for stasis, and Strand's going to have its own thing. So, out with the wells, in with the subclass specific verbiage. Balancing act, tuning under the hood to address some power spikes in certain combinations created. So basically, some builds will be able to be carried over into Lightfall, maybe not all of them, but maybe some things that are going to be changed. A lot of the mods are going to be changed, and some will be depreciated or deprecated. Like I noted before, Warmind cells, bye-bye. So, as far as 6.0.3, or as far as the Buildcrafting Evolved blog that was released on, I believe, Wednesday the 18th from the dev team, this is an excellent read. I'm gonna put this in the files down below, or in the thing down below. Now we're going to go over TWAB.
How many times has this facility changed hands between Gray and Hive? I wonder which side will relent first.
So, TWAB 1/1923. This one was a thick boy. Big thick boy. Grandmaster changes, including power level, Iron Banner update after week 1 with Fortress. Okay. Friendly reminder from the security team. Some people whose accounts were banned have said they don't remember cheating or any sort of cheating from the platform. Basically, this is just a note from Bungie saying, like, hey, don't let people play on your account. Stop that. This is bad. Don't do that. Getting Guardian, we're going to Neomuna. Basically previewing Lightfall Neomuna environment trailer. If you haven't seen this is cool. I recommend watching it. Bob of the Guardian builder and the evolution of Buildcrafting. So this is a little bit of a tease right into the Buildcrafting dev spot that I just spoke about earlier. Rumble catalysts are changing, exotic glaive goodness, and more. So I'm going to try to speed through some of the notable things I thought. Red border drop rates, like I mentioned earlier, going up in Duality Dungeon, going up in raids. Faster dredge and titling, rather than 30 Gambit wins, changing it to 50 match completions. Yes, this is very good change. This is probably what it should have been the entire time. Bye-bye Blues, that soft cap, this one's huge. Whenever you hit the soft cap at any season, Blues don't drop anymore. They're not supposed to drop. So, yeah. And then Rumble, y'all. In response to player feedback, we're bringing Rumble back out of the Crucible screen, back out to the Crucible screen as a permanent fixture, and removed it as a rotator in the next patch, y'all. There are more exciting Crucible changes coming with Lightfall. Stay tuned. Okay. So hopefully it'll be a connection-based matchmaking playlist. The current playlist that it's in is technically connection-based matchmaking, but it's on a rotator, so you don't see it but for once a month, for 1 week a month. Year 3, Catalyst Evolution, Catalyst Quests for the Year 3 Season Pass Exotics. Ariana's Vow, Symmetry, Tommy's Matchbook, with the Horde will now all benefit from the Season Pass boosts like other exotic Catalyst quests. Sweet, we like those. Good change. Easier exotic glaive crafting. Did you know that there are class-specific craftable exotic glaives? I knew that they were there. Never got one. I still haven't gotten one. We're adjusting the quest needed to receive them, only to require one portion of each weapon pattern from the Wellspring weapons, as well as ensuring the first drop of each daily Wellspring weapon will have Deep Sight. Once you have unlocked the recipe for the first exotic glaive, the other recipes will be purchased. Can be purchased by your other characters from the evidence board. Sweet. We love that. That is an excellent change. I rarely encounter the class-specific exotic glaives. Rarely do. PvE, PvP, wherever, I rarely encounter them. Save the date, at dawn we raid. Lightfall raid being released March 10th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. For those of you that are day one raiding, good luck. I will not be out there with you because I don't have the patience. But good luck to y'all, and most importantly, y'all have a fun time. Need to talk about matchmaking. So basically, Bungie right here kind of just gives us a load of horse shit for trying to justify using. They're trying to justify using SBMM. So basically, the Rituals team right here kind of talks about how their mean prediction accuracy. So this is basically a graph of what they wanted to see for how close to 50-50 games could be predicted in Crucible, whether it be 3v3, 6v6, whatever. And this is their record of average games that the matchmaking system thinks can go 50-50. So this upper portion right here is pre-season 18 before they implemented loose SBMM. This portion over here afterward is season 18 and afterward. So with the information they have displayed, so 50, this is the 50-50 line matches of, they're wanting this line to basically be as close to this line as possible with loose SBMM. So there's been a lot of player frustrations with connections and things, and a lot of imbalance with the sandbox as well. So a lot of the PvP community is unhappy, and this seems like Bungie just trying to justify their reasoning for doing this change to SBMM. I'm not really going to make this a SBMM debate or anything. This is just Bungie displaying their information and how they think it's getting closer to 50-50. Like, yeah, sure, supposedly, according to this data, we're closer to 50-50, but what are the PvP players' enjoyments of... What is their enjoyment of the Crucible right now? Let me know what your enjoyment of the Crucible is ever since Season 18 in the comments. Please do. I would like to know what you think about Crucible. But anyway, what there should be instead is graphs, or what they need to be doing is polling the players, surveying players that are playing PvP. And I'm not talking about just like the 3 a week. I mean, sure, it's fine to make surveys available to everyone, but like really take into account the players that play that are like me, that like to play 10 hours a week. Put some surveys out there and see what the PvP community really has to say, instead of just trying to make your in-game system make every game quote 50-50 as possible, because then it's pretty much locking me into my rank, and I don't really care for it. Alright, let's get off of that and go on to AE. Airborne Effectiveness, Abilities, and oh my, second TWAB of the year, going in with the Sandbox team. AE. Important to balance the increasing numbers of airborne movement options against combat effectiveness. We don't want Destiny 2 to shift excessively toward airborne gunplay. In a game mode where most modes do not have SBMM, players using airborne style could be extremely oppressive. First reason remains true, but the second has become less relevant as SBMM is rolled out across PvP modes, and despite achieving our goals, the cost of player fun was too high. It's still too high, but hopefully with the changes to SBMM that are coming, or the changes to airborne effectiveness that are coming, maybe player enjoyment will be a little bit better, a little bit more tolerable, because I can tell you right now, connections in Crucible are not tolerable. And the connections are going to be the main thing for me. If connections are bad in Season 20, PvP content may cease to exist on this channel. Just don't be... that may be a spoiler, but anyway. First season remains true, or yeah, we already read through that. Auto aim, aka bullet bend, precision angle threshold, magnetism, accuracy, and spread angle are going to be changed through. They're going to be reworked through the AE system. Primary weapons getting more aim assist. SMGs have been long heavily dependent on the range stat to be competitive. So what they're doing right here is increasing damage and aim assistance fall off at zero range by 30% for those SMGs that have low range to begin with, and then they are taking adaptives, giving them a little bit more of a crit multiplier, increasing Forensic Nightmare Zoom from 13 to 14, reducing aim assist fall off for pulse rifles at 100 range by 10%. So for those of the people that are using pulse rifles that are building into range, it's going to have more aim assist fall off. BXR Battler is getting a 2 zoom nerf down from 20 to 18. They're also going to be reducing the Season 18 aim assist fall off distance buff from 30 to 20% on sidearms. Now going into exotics, Dead Messenger, PvP nerf, reduced wave splash damage by players against players by 35%. DMT getting hit pretty hard here, especially for mouse and keyboard. Remove damage penalty of 5 stacks for cranial spike. So that's actually going to be a little bit of a rework there. Reducing hipfire and aim assist cone angles by 25% on MK. Reduce hipfire cone angle bonus scaling from 20% to 5%. Reduced hipfire precision aim cone angle from 3 degrees to 0.8. That's going to be a big, big hit. Reduced hipfire auto aim fall off scaler from 1.5 to 1.1. Perks. We're seeing Revoker usage increase in PvP. So they're taking down Reversal of Fortune and reworking it. Now triggers on 2 misses within 6 seconds. Coming in Lightfall, we're doing a heavy weapon balance pass, adding subclass 3.0 verbs to several exotic weapons, tuning kinetic weapons, and adding a new perk to make kinetic weapons more valuable. In post Lightfall season, we'll be shipping some updates that we're pretty chuffed about. Substantial changes to weapon hipfire reticles, with the goal of exposing more information specific to weapon types of exotic functionality, a full auto melee setting, another set of craftable reprised raid weapons with an origin trait similar to what we did with the Deepstone Crypt weapons in Season 19. Crossing my fingers that it's VOG, but I won't complain, whatever it is. Regular season and mid-season balance updates. Titan's Ramparts. Increase the cooldown of barricade ability while Titan's Ramparts are equipped by 70%. Increase the amount of damage players deal to a Titan's barricade by 25%. So, yeah, Titans is pretty much unless you can still make the functionality work with exotic swapping, you're pretty much not going to see these in PvP in Season 20. So, rest in peace. Abilities. Increased barricade cooldown time of the following class abilities by 20%. Barricade gets a Touch of Thunder. Second strike damage reduced from 40 to 30. Removing stability, incoming flinch, and shotgun pellet spread penalties while sliding. So the nerf that was done a long time ago to sliding, that is reversed. Excellent. New Lunar New Year. Got a rabbit to celebrate, so they're celebrating the Lunar New Year. So as far as the TWAB goes, that's pretty much all I really wanted to cover. Notable things. I will throw a link down in the description below for y'all to read. I highly suggest reading this one on your own time. This one was is going to be pretty impactful in the future. Highly recommend reading this one. So yeah, that is going to be it for the weekly feedback. If y'all have any questions or comments about the stuff in the TWAB, the hot fix in the development thing, in the developer blog, let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Thank you, and have a good night.